It is day 11 of my 30 days of decluttering in January challenge. And do you ever start something and then think, what on earth have I done? Because this is what happened to me with this particular challenge. So, this is the before. This is my desk area. I work from home mostly. I am officially a home worker, but I usually do travel into an office maybe like once or twice a week max. I work from home 4 long days a week. And basically, this has kind of been in a temporary-ish desk area made permanent. So we always thought that we would kind of get a bespoke desk made. That never happened. And this desk, the actual desk cost me £10 from Amazon 4 years ago. I then purchased within the last year a desk riser so I can stand at the desk. You can make it into a standing desk. And yeah, it's now my permanent desk. I work in this downstairs, like open plan living area part of our house. So my kids are at school and nursery and preschool while I am at work. But the rest of the time, this is, a family zone. And my desk is super messy. It stresses me out when I'm working, it stresses me out when I'm not working. I need it to look more put together. I have totally like non-functioning organization systems. It is ridiculous. I don't know if we can call them organization systems. I have like a bin under my desk overflowing with stuff, and the rest of it is just heaped on the desk itself. So I bought this organizer. I actually already have this organizer in my kitchen. We use it to organize our paperwork. So we each have a tray. There are 5 trays in it. We each have a tray of every family member for anything that we need to have like out permanently, like, medical records for the kids and that sort of thing. Post that comes in that we need to sort through, party invitations for the children, that sort of thing. So, just slotting this together. It's from IKEA. It's metal. It's very solid. I really like it, but I don't like the color of it. And with the one in the kitchen, I spray painted it. So that is what I'm going to do with this one. We have lots of like copper accents in our house. So I'm going to do exactly the same as I did for the kitchen one, and I'm going to spray paint it copper. When I sprayed the one in the kitchen, it kind of came out like this kind of, I don't know, mottled, marble-ish effect. And I really like that. So I'm not going to do anything special to recreate it. I'm just going to spray it and hope it goes the same way. I cannot remember the spray paint that I used with the kitchen one. So I've ordered one that I'm just kind of hoping it's the same or similar. I also got these look like cardboard organizers. And I'm not sure that I need both. I think I probably only need one. My desk area is pretty compact, so I have to be sensible about how much I can have out. So ideally, I'd have done this in daylight hours, and this actually meant I nearly didn't do this declutter today. But I really wanted to get my desk area sorted. So once I'd finished work for the day, before I picked up the kids, I was like, do you know what? Just gonna throw some cardboard down, spray them, then they can be drying while I'm getting the kids, while we're doing like bedtime routine, and then I can see if I can get it up on the wall. So bit by bit, just like breaking this down into smaller tasks. That was the aim of the game. This stuff really stinks. Like it stinks of like nail polish. It is super smelly. It's definitely an outside job because, as you can see, it does kind of go everywhere. Great one for grass and not your path, because like I know in a month or so we'll cut the grass and anything that got on the grass will go. I don't want to be trying to get rid of paint from the path, even though it may not be the prettiest path. Maybe I should spray paint it copper. I don't know. So the paper organizers were like these cardboard ones were the hardest ones to spray. I got like drips going down it and I tried to sort of wipe them off onto the cardboard. That didn't work very well, but in the end, it all looked really good. So you can see we've got this kind of like mottled-ish, marbling, if you can call it that, effect on them. It doesn't matter that they're not painted inside. No one will see that. And now the next task. So, I'd got the kids. The kids are home by this point. And now I am just moving stuff. So while my kids are having their after school snacks on the table beside me, just going to move everything onto the table. Now, even though I did break this down into smaller steps, this took me way, way longer than I had anticipated. This is the story of my life. Everything in my life takes me longer than I expected to. So I decided to get this up on the wall before I put the kids to bed because I don't want to be drilling holes while they are asleep. And this is where things started to go not so great. I am pretty good at DIY. The drill is mine. This is not my husband's drill. I own this drill, okay? I bought this before he moved in with me. My problem was I did not measure it out. I should have put the screw into the hole before I put the wall plug in, and then I would have realised I had not drilled it deep enough. So I had to remove it. the plaster, the original plaster from the house. This is not part of an extended wall in our house. This is part of the original wall. I know the plaster is brittle as anything. So getting that wall plug out meant I made myself a nice little hole. But this was going to be covered up, so no worries. However, I couldn't just leave it as it was. So I did fill it in, making it look a lot better than it was. We'll deal with that one day, when we come to move house now. Excuse the close-up of my behind. But we got those organisers on the wall. I am instantly pleased with how this turned out. Like, it looks so much better. Actually, just to have something colourful and visual on the wall as well is an improvement. And then I set about putting up an arm to hold my main monitor. Now, I have always had my laptop on the left side, the monitor on the right hand side, and that's because of where like the plug sockets were and the wires went and blah 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 blah. But it did not work because I mostly sit like slightly on that left side because of all the stuff I had underneath the desk, and I was basically using my laptop as my main screen, and my monitor, which should have been my main screen, was like my second screen. So I was always using both of them, and I can't survive without more than one monitor with the stuff that I do for work. But I'm like squinting at my laptop. I'd increased the font on my laptop so that I could see it better. And like I remember sharing my screen with my boss once, and she was like, "Why is everything so big on your screen?" But like for me, it's not, because I'm sat back from my desk a little bit and it's a tiny screen. But this is ridiculous. And basically, just don't have time in life to sort these things out. I'm like constantly rushing around with the kids, busy at work, and then like when do you get time to do all these admin tasks? So I finally got around to sorting this out, switched it round to that side. The actual like monitor arm was from IKEA because I was ordering some other stuff and I was looking at like desk organizers. It came up as like a suggestion from IKEA, and I was like, yes, I do need this. So removing like the back of the monitor and getting that up there was a bit of a faff. I did cut a lot of that out, the footage, but it was totally worth it. So much better to have like the main screen in front of me, like that big screen. So now it's time to actually declutter, go through some things. I say that. Before I do that, I just stuck a little like bag holder on the side of my desk because I always have my work bag under my desk. And I wanted to have it like up off the floor. It's not a nice bag or anything, it's just a tote bag. But I wanted to have it off the floor. So now I am going through things. I have a lot of notepads, like I get them through work events. I have some really lovely ones. I've got a few ones from Parliament. We hold parliamentary events and we usually get like these really lovely notepads and pens for everyone who attends, has one like in the table in front of them. And that means I've amassed quite a few parliamentary notepads, but they are really nice. I don't want to get rid of those, but I want to prioritize like the prettier ones and the nicer ones. And then the other notepads I can give to my kids. So once I've torn out the pages that I need to put in the shredder at work, I can give the kids like the remaining notepads. They love practicing their handwriting and drawing pictures. And like, I think if you have kids, like paper, you can never have enough paper, right? So I am making a decision, like how much can I store, how much do I need? And then what can I pass on to the kids? What needs to go to work to go in the shredder? And this organizer, the kind of wooden crate, you remember I had that on the kitchen island. I had cookbooks in it. Now I've moved the cookbooks into a cupboard in my kitchen. That's made a massive difference. The kitchen island looks so much tidier. But this particular crate fits perfectly into our unit under our television. And that's why we want to get like all the wires and the techie kit that I use for YouTube and work and like all the little bits and bobs into that crate, tucked away, like tidied up, so I don't need to see them every day, and get them off my desk. Ideally, I want my personal laptop, which is in the bag in front of me there. I also don't use that very regularly. I am mostly using my work laptop, and I do all of my editing for YouTube on my phone. So I very rarely need that laptop. So I want to get that like tucked away somewhere as well. Not sure if I have space in that cabinet under the TV. We shall see. And then, it's just a case of going through things like, is this rubbish? Do I need this? Do I need to action stuff? The stuff from like my life admin, like my general life admin, creeps over onto my desk because often I think like, I'll put this piece of paperwork on my desk and then in my lunch break, I'll make a phone call or an inquiry or like get that thing ticked off. Inevitably, like 9 times out of 10, I run out of time to do these things, but then they sit on the side of my desk, like teasing me, taunting me, like all the jobs that you haven't done that. So I want to get that stuff in that metal organizer on the wall. So it's like it's still there as a reminder. I can still see it. I can still access it really quickly if I need it, but I don't have to have it like in my way, getting in the way of me doing my job and stressing me out, quite frankly. Because, you know, there is only so much you can do in a day. And I am continuously unrealistic with my time. I always think that I can get way more done in a day than I actually can. I do it at work, I do it in my general life, I do it always. And I don't think it's going to change either. Like I'm continuously unrealistic, but it also means I start projects like this desk project, and have to finish them, quite frankly, because, you know, I've made a mess, and then I get them done, don't I? So this is a reminder of what my desk looked like at the start, like before this project, all that stuff. You can see my work bag on like the top of that basket under my desk. I've got a lack of floor space. We've got wires everywhere. We've got kids stuff to the side there. My personal laptop, even though I don't use it very much. A billion notepads, quite frankly, a billion of them. And a bunch of other stuff on my desk. A heap of paperwork that I need to action. Behind there, I actually had like a beads kind of crafting kit that I'd use to make bracelets for Taylor Swift concert, but I clearly don't need them behind my computer. So here is how it is looking after the time spent. I think in total this project took me 3 hours. I'm not going to lie, it was a long project, and I'd split that up into chunks throughout the day, but still. It was a long time, and there were times where I did think, what on earth have I done? I need to go to bed. But we got it done, and I'm so pleased with it. And I think this will make like one of the biggest like impacts on me in terms of the projects that I have done so far in December and January, because every day that I'm working, this is going to improve my working day. I love that organizer on the wall. I love the color. I love how it turned out. I've also, you can see, I put one of the containers behind my monitor there that has some other stuff that just to keep it a bit tidier, I think, really stuff that I need, but I don't need to see it like out on my desk. And I think I could probably do with another little pot or something to hold like post-its and stuff. But this is everything that I cleared. Got a couple of mics that I no longer use for YouTube that I can pass on to somebody else, but otherwise it is all recycling and rubbish. And some of this, I also had some shredding, some stuff that I can't show you that had confidential stuff for work, which I've put in my work bag that I'll take in. A necklace that was in my work bag that I totally forgotten about, and I love that necklace. Also, still finding Santa stuff. That's Santa's key. So we still need to put stuff away. And here is the stuff basically in the crate. Got that in. Laptop is on top of my workout stuff. That's not ideal. We'll find a better solution, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.